There she is, Brigitte Quinn, news anchor, morning anchor at 1010 Wins, and author of a terrific new book called Anchored. How you doing?
I'm good. It's so nice to be here. Nice to see you again.
It's good to see you. We used to see each other at another network. What was that?
That would be the Fox News Channel, where I'm pretty sure I interviewed you at least once.
Yeah, you don't even remember. Great. So, but you've been at a few different networks. You were at Fox News. You were at MSNBC, NBC News.
Yes.
So you've had a few different great gigs, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and prior to that, radio at WCBS 880, and now 1010 Wins.
Describe the morning gig right now before we talk about the book, the radio gig.
Well, in terms of logistics,
Yeah, what's it like?
it's early, is what it's like. In a word, early. I get up at 2:30. I'm in the newsroom.
No, you don't.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I was up at 2:30 this morning. Yeah.
Okay, 2:30. What happens then?
Then I race out the door and get to the newsroom about 4 o'clock. And then I race through writing my copy.
You write your own copy.
I do, for the 5:30 show. So my shows are 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. I write the first half hour. One of the writers writes the 6:30, and so we alternate like that. But yeah, I write the show. But I don't line it. It's all there. It's all ready to go when I walk in the door.
Real quick, biggest difference between radio and TV news?
Oh my goodness, there's so many. Biggest difference. Well, you do write your own stuff in radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This book,
Yes.
it's a novel.
It is.
Any of it, because Barbara King is the anchor. They're in Phoenix.
That's right.
Is it
the Phoenix News Channel.
the Phoenix
In
News
New
show?
York, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it business news?
No.
It's just news.
It's straight up cable news
and
channel. Yeah.
Jack Stone is the handsome co-anchor.
That's right.
They have a thing for each other?
They do. They do.
Okay.
They meet cute. They kind of hate each other at first, and then
But she's married.
she is married.
She has children.
She has
How-
one. She
one.
has one. Yeah.
You have,
I have three.
just checking.
See, there are differences, Steve. I think I know what you're getting at.
I just asked. And what's the issue for her? What's her thing?
She has a couple of issues.
Go ahead.
Okay, so she is falling for this co-anchor who she initially regards as a rival and doesn't really trust him. A lot of trust when you're co-anchoring with
Really,
somebody.
I've never heard of that in the news
You've never,
business.
not in a million years, right? But her bigger issue, perhaps, is that she wants desperately to be famous, to be a famous news anchor in the mold of a Barbara Walters.
Right.
And she wants to ditch this two-bit cable operation, this fledgling, lousy channel, and take off for network stardom. But to do that, she has to become a star at the network. And at first, she thinks that this co-anchor is getting in the way of that, so she doesn't like him. But then things evolve, as we say, and then during the course of the book, we find out if she is going to be able to make a moral compromise in order to reach her dream.
A moral compromise in news.
An ethical compromise. Maybe that's the better phrase.
Well, let me ask you this. While the character is not based on you,
Right.
to what degree do you feel that in your career, your very successful career, in which you've had to balance lots of different things, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Namely your family.
Kids.
Yeah, those things.
Yep.
Your kids,
Aging
right?
parents.
Right.
Whole list, yep.
How challenging in terms of choices, ethical, moral, practical, all of it?
Well, for me, the practical choices were, I think, at the forefront. When I started in television, I didn't start at a particularly young age. I had already started a family when I was at Fox. I already had considerations at home. And when I got to Fox News Channel, honest to goodness, I was so happy to have the midday shift. I had no aspirations for prime time or network stardom or any of that. I liked my job. I liked going in. I liked doing breaking news. I liked being a breaking news jockey, if you will. And I was perfectly content with that. So I didn't have any sort of career choices or ethical dilemmas.
That wasn't your thing.
That wasn't my thing. My big dilemma came up later as the years went by at Fox, and I suddenly had 3 children and an aging parent, was I need to spend more time at home. I'm not managing things at home. So that was my own dilemma.
Writing this book, when the heck did you do it?
Everybody says that.
Spare time?
But I did have a little spare
When?
time. I did. Well, so I retired from broadcasting in 2008 to take care of things at home.
Okay.
And I found that once doctor's appointments and the kids were at school, when that was taken care of, I did have a little time. And I've always been sort of an early riser, so I would get up and I would start writing.
Did you say to yourself, I have a novel in me? That's what I wanted to do? Or was it a memoir? What did you want to do?
Well, I actually went back to, I thought I was going to teach. I thought I was going to teach at the college level, which I did a little bit of. But while I was there, I thought, well, if I really want to be an employable teacher, I better go back to school for a master's. Never got that PhD like somebody else around here, but I got as far as getting a master's.
It's overrated, trust me.
Yeah, well, it's overrated too for the teaching profession. Wasn't really getting anywhere there, but in grad school, I studied writing and I wrote a sort of a memoir, but I didn't think that would be anything that would be marketable. I just didn't think I was a big enough name. I mean, I could see like a Katie Couric memoir selling or Barbara Walters. So I had an advisor who said, well, listen, why don't we blow it up? Why don't you make a novel out of this? So I did. And blow it up I did, because I really had to almost start from scratch.
Getting it published, how challenging. Let folks understand that. Look at your face change. Why did your face change immediately?
Because it was really...
That's a whole nother story.
That is a whole nother story, which I will never write because it won't sell. But
it's true.
It is a...
I have all my rejection letters from my first book 15 years ago.
Oh, you saved them?
I've got 27.
Oh, and that's not even so many.
I have, trust me, I sit there and I go, I reminded them, you have a few.
I have more than a few. I have so many. The good news is you become inured to it after a while. It's like, another rejection.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get an agent. It's almost impossible to get an agent to represent you, which I did get. And then it's almost impossible to get a big publisher to take a chance on a debut novelist.
Sure.
And then, when you do publish, we went the quote-unquote indie route.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to sell books, and you have to be all over social media. You have to be constantly promoting, as I'm doing here right now.
And by the way, I want to thank the folks at Simon & Schuster for finally publishing my book.
Oh.
And now the folks at Rutgers University Press for finally publishing the others. But more importantly, your book, a novel. It's called Anchored. Brigitte Quinn, who check you out every morning. What time?
Oh, 5:30. Bright and early, 6:30, 10-10 wins.
Give me a chance to plug.
The
You gotta
big
tell
10-10 wins. Tune in every morning.
And people can check out Anchor. They can buy this anywhere, right?
They can buy it on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com.
Listen, we wish you nothing but the best. You've had a fascinating career. You continue to have a great career.
Thank you.
And people can learn from this. And they'll have to find out if they actually get together, the two
You'll have
anchors.
to read the book, Steve.
Listen, thank you. Wish you all the best.
All right, great to see you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Virtua, MagnaCare, TD Bank, Berkeley College, New Jersey Resources, Johnson & Johnson, and by Kessler Foundation. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.